My dear friends, thank you for joining me today. I want to share something I wish someone had told me when I was younger. Now that I have lived many decades, I understand something very clearly. Growing older is not just about the number written on your birthday cake. It is about how your body, your mind, and your daily habits continue to carry you through life. I am an old man now. My hair has turned white. My steps are not as quick as they once were. And I have said goodbye to many people I once thought would always be beside me. But one thing I have learned is that aging does not happen suddenly. The body usually whispers before it begins to struggle. It sends us small messages through our movements, our energy, our emotions, and the way we live each day. Many people believe that living a long life is only about luck or genetics. Of course, those things matter. But after watching my own life and the lives of many friends who reached their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, I have noticed certain patterns. There are signs that often appear in people who continue to stay independent, active, and mentally strong as they age. Today, I want to share with you 7 signs that can tell you a great deal about how well you may age after 70. These are not predictions of exactly how many years someone has left. None of us can know that. But they are important clues that show whether we are giving our bodies and minds the support they need. So, sit with me for a little while, and let me share these lessons from the road of life. Some of these things are simple. In fact, you may think they are too simple to matter. But after 90 years of living, I have learned that the smallest daily habits often create the biggest changes. The first sign, your ability to maintain meaningful relationships. When I was a young man, I thought success meant having more money, a bigger house, and more achievements to talk about. I spent many years working hard, building a career, and chasing responsibilities. But as the years passed, I discovered something that many older people eventually learn. The people around you become one of the greatest sources of strength you have. I have seen friends who had comfortable lives but became weaker after they stopped connecting with others. They stayed inside their homes, stopped calling old friends, and slowly disconnected from the world around them. At first it seemed harmless. They told themselves they simply preferred being alone. But over time their energy faded, their mood changed, and they became less interested in activities they once enjoyed. On the other hand, I have known older people who remained active because they continued sharing their lives with others. They called friends, attended community events, spent time with family, or simply had regular conversations with neighbors. They had something to look forward to. They had people who noticed when they were happy, and people who noticed when something was wrong. Human beings are not designed to live completely disconnected from one another. A simple conversation, a shared meal, or a friendly visit can do more for the heart than many people realize. When we connect with others, our minds stay active. We feel valued. We remember that our lives still have meaning. If you are over 70 and you have noticed that you spend more and more time alone, do not wait for someone else to reach out first. Pick up the phone, send a message, join a group, or visit someone. Even a small effort can open a door that has been closed for too long. The second sign, your ability to handle stress and difficult moments. Life does not become completely peaceful when we get older. Some people believe retirement means every problem disappears. But that is not true. We still face challenges. We may worry about our health, our finances, our family, or the changes that come with aging. The difference is not whether problems come into our lives. Problems come to everyone. The difference is how we carry them. I remember a friend of mine who worried about everything. If something small went wrong, he would spend days thinking about it. He would replay conversations in his mind, imagine the worst possibilities, and allow one problem to take away many peaceful days. Over time, I noticed that his body carried that stress. He slept poorly, became tired easily, and seemed older than his actual age. Another friend faced many hardships, but he had a different approach. When something difficult happened, he would say, "I cannot control everything that happens to me, but I can control how I respond." He would take a walk, talk with someone he trusted, and focus on what he could do instead of what he could not change. That attitude protected him. As we age, learning how to calm our minds becomes just as important as taking care of our bodies. Long-term stress can affect our sleep, our heart, our immune system, and even our memory. Carrying anger, fear, and constant worry for years can slowly take away the joy from our remaining time. This does not mean we should ignore our problems or pretend everything is perfect. Life is not always easy. It means we learn not to let every problem control our entire day. Simple habits can help. Take a few quiet moments each morning. Spend time outdoors. Breathe slowly when you feel overwhelmed. Talk with people who bring you peace. Let go of arguments that no longer matter. At my age, I have learned that protecting your peace is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. The third sign: the strength of your appetite and your relationship with food. When we are young, many of us eat without thinking. We eat because we are hungry, because we are busy, or simply because food is available. But as we grow older, nutrition becomes one of the foundations of our strength. I have watched many older people become weaker because they slowly stopped paying attention to what they were eating. Sometimes they lost interest in meals. Sometimes they ate very little because cooking felt like too much work. Sometimes they believed losing weight was always a good thing without realizing they were losing important muscle. After 70, maintaining strength becomes extremely important. Your body needs enough nutrients to protect your muscles, support your immune system, and keep your energy steady. A healthy meal does not need to be complicated. It can be simple food prepared with care. Vegetables, fruits, protein, whole grains, and enough water can make a tremendous difference. A good meal is not only about filling your stomach. It is about giving your body the materials it needs to continue serving you. I always tell my older friends, do not lose your appreciation for food. Enjoy your meals. Sit down. Take your time. Share food with others when you can. Food is not only fuel, it is also connection, comfort, and a reminder that life still has many small pleasures. If you notice that your appetite has changed greatly, you are losing weight without trying, or you constantly feel tired, pay attention. Your body may be asking for help. And remember, my friends, aging well is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about listening to the small signals your body gives you and making small improvements while you still can. The fourth sign: your ability to maintain balance and steady movement. When I was younger, I never thought much about balance. I walked, climbed stairs, carried heavy things, and moved through my day without giving it a second thought. Most of us are like that when we are young. We assume our bodies will always respond the way they always have. But as the years pass, balance becomes something very important. It is not just about standing on one foot or walking without falling. Balance is a reflection of how well your muscles, your nerves, your brain, and your body are working together. I have known many older people who remained independent because they continued training their balance. They walked regularly, stretched their bodies, practiced gentle exercises, and kept moving every day. They did not wait until they became weak before taking care of themselves. I have also seen people slowly lose confidence because they became afraid of falling. They stopped going outside. They avoided stairs. They relied more and more on chairs, walls, and other people for support. The sad part is that this often creates a cycle. The less you move, the weaker your muscles become. The weaker your muscles become, the more difficult movement feels. A fall at an older age can change someone's life very quickly. Sometimes it is not the injury itself that causes the biggest problem. It is the fear afterward. A person may lose confidence and begin limiting their own life. That is why I believe balance should be practiced throughout our later years. You do not need expensive equipment or a difficult exercise routine. Simple things can help. Walking carefully, standing from a chair without using your hands, practicing gentle movements, or spending a few minutes each day improving your stability can make a difference. At my age, I do not try to move like a young man anymore. I do not need to run fast or prove anything. I simply want my body to continue supporting me. I want to walk safely, enjoy the outdoors, and remain independent for as long as possible. The fifth sign: the quality of your sleep is something many people underestimate. When we are young, we often sacrifice sleep because we believe there will always be more time to rest later. We work late, stay busy, and push our bodies beyond their limits. But when we become older, we begin to understand that sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is when the body repairs itself. It is when the mind organizes memories, restores energy, and prepares us for another day. I have noticed that older people who maintain healthy sleep habits often have more energy and clearer minds. They wake up feeling refreshed, they have better moods, they are more willing to move, socialize, and participate in life. Poor sleep, however, can slowly affect everything. A person may wake up tired, feel irritated more easily, struggle with concentration, or lose motivation to do things they once enjoyed. Many older adults experience changes in their sleep. They may wake up during the night or find it harder to fall asleep. Some people simply accept it as a normal part of aging. But while some changes are natural, constant poor sleep should not be ignored. Good sleep begins with simple habits. Try to keep a regular schedule. Allow your body to recognize when it is time to rest. Avoid spending too much time looking at bright screens before bed. Create a calm environment where your mind can slow down. I also believe that the thoughts we carry into the night matter. If you go to bed holding anger, fear, and endless worries, your mind may continue fighting even when your body is tired. Sometimes peace comes from learning to release the things we cannot change. Before I sleep each night, I try to think about the things I am grateful for. I remind myself that another day was a gift. This simple habit has brought me more comfort than I ever expected. The sixth sign: your walking speed and physical strength. Many people are surprised when they hear that the way they walk can reveal so much about their health. But after many years of observing people, it makes perfect sense to me. Your walking speed is not only about your legs, it reflects your muscles, your heart, your coordination, and your overall energy. A person who can walk with confidence often has a body that is still working together well. I have seen people in their 80s who walk every morning with steady steps. They may not be fast, but they are strong. They carry themselves with confidence. They continue doing simple tasks without needing constant assistance. I have also seen people begin slowing down because they stopped moving. They sat more often, avoided activity, and gradually lost strength. The body is interesting because it responds to what we ask from it. If we continue using it, we help preserve it. If we stop challenging it, it begins to weaken. The same is true for grip strength. Something as simple as opening a jar, carrying groceries, or holding onto objects can tell us a lot about our muscle health. Our hands are connected to the strength of our entire body. The good news is that strength can be maintained at almost any age. You do not need to lift heavy weights like an athlete. Small, consistent movements matter. Walking, gardening, light resistance exercises, and daily activities can help keep your muscles active. Never think that because you are older, improvement is impossible. I have learned that the human body is more adaptable than many people believe. The seventh sign: your ability to keep your mind active and continue learning. One of the greatest mistakes people make after retirement is believing that their most meaningful years are behind them. They stop learning. They stop exploring. They stop being curious. But curiosity is one of the things that keeps us young inside. I have met older people who continue reading, learning new skills, having conversations, and asking questions about the world. Their faces may show their age, but their minds remain alive. The brain, like the body, needs activity. It needs challenges. It needs engagement. You do not have to become a scholar or learn something complicated. You can learn a new recipe, study a language, read a book, play an instrument, or simply have deep conversations with others. Every new experience gives your mind a reason to stay active. Looking back on my own life, I realize that staying curious has helped me more than anything. The world keeps changing, and instead of becoming angry about every change, I try to understand it. There is always something new to discover. My friends, these 7 signs are not about predicting the exact number of years you have left. Life is precious because it is uncertain. But these signs can remind us that we still have influence over the quality of our years. Pay attention to your relationships, protect your peace, nourish your body, maintain your balance, respect your sleep, keep moving, continue learning. Growing older is not a punishment. It is a privilege that many people never receive. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to take care of yourself, appreciate the people around you, and enjoy the simple moments that make life meaningful. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I truly appreciate you listening to an old man share the lessons that life has given me. If something I said touched your heart or reminded you of someone you love, I hope you will share your thoughts with me. Please take good care of yourself, stay strong, and continue finding reasons to smile every day. I hope we can meet again in another conversation soon. Until then, I wish you good health, peace in your heart, and many beautiful days ahead. Thank you for listening, my friends, and I will see you next time.